Okay, B'siyata D'Shmai, we're going to be continuing with the Torah Shlomo, the Torah of the Yanuka, Rav Shlomo Yehuda Meri Shlita. And we've been learning about the Pnimiyut, the form and the spiritual form, and the lessons and the messages that we can get out of the Hebrew letters, the Shana Kodesh, the building blocks of this whole entire world. Last class we learned about the letters Bet, which was the idea, Bet was the idea of dwelling in this world, that Hashem wants a house, a bait, a bet in this world. We learned about the letter Vav. Vav was the idea of Amshachan Chibur, of drawing down and connecting. And we also learned about Shin. Shin was the idea of Shabbat, Shmirah, protection, and ascending above the natural limitations of this world and the natural fears that we have, and understanding that Hashem is behind everything. And we left off talking about Shabbat being the Shmirah and how it takes us above nature and above the rule that the month of Saturn, the planet of Saturn has over the day of Shabbat, meaning over the week, showing us that when we ascend above nature, we're able to tap into a level of protection from all of those limitations and all of those false beliefs of nature. And now we're going to continue B'ezrat Hashem in the story from the Yanuka. This is another reason that the word Shabbat, right, if Shin represents Shmirah, protection, ascending above the limitations of the month, the planet of Saturn, that so to say rules over Shabbat, meaning the full level of nature and machloket and disagreement and multiplicity of this world. Shabbat starts with a shin, and the next letter after that is a bet. Bet again is bait, dira, a dwelling place for Hashem down here in this world. That's the idea of the Beit HaMikdash, which was the dira betachtonim, which is this dwelling place for Hashem in this lower world. Lashrat Shechina, for there to be a presence of Shechina here, so that the presence of God could rest down here. Because on the day of Shabbat, mit'aleh ze habayit hakadosh, this holy house rises in its sanctity, which is the light of the Shekhinah that is dwelling in the hearts of every single person in Am Yisrael, to ascend and to be included up above, higher in the source and the sanctity of what's called Shabbat. Like Rashbi says in the Tikkunim, Rashbi says in Tikkunei Azor, ולכן צריך האדם לפנות ולנקות את ליבו קודם השבת מכל רע ומרירות. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says, because Shabbat is such a holy time that everything is ascending to a higher level, more clarity, therefore everybody needs to purify and clean their heart before the Shabbat. From all of the negativity, from all of the bitterness, from all of the anger, from all of the heaviness, from all of the sadness and depression. And you have to realign your heart and intend your heart to be a holy dwelling place for the Shabbat and for the presence of the Shekhinah to come down into you. Meaning your Beit HaMikdash, the Beit, the Bayit, the house of Hashem in this world, is your heart. But when that light comes down on Shabbat, your heart has to be clean. Like you have to clean your physical house, and you have to get your clothing ready, and you have to prepare for Shabbat. You have to do this in your heart. You have to prepare your heart to be a kosher, beautiful, clean, open, vulnerable, wanting to connect house for HaKadosh Baruch Hu to bring His light down into it. Like it's written, "V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam." Right? The children of Israel guarded the Shabbat to make the Shabbat for their generations. And it's written, Ledorotam Chaser. Just press the volume. It's written Dorotam, their generations, without the Vavs. And it's written like that in order to hint to us that the Shabbat, right, Dorotam with the Vavs, then it's clear it's Dorot. It's their generations. Without the Vavs, then you just have Dalet Reish Taf Mem. And that could be read Diratam. It's their homes. It's their dwelling places. We keep the Shabbat for our home, meaning we are the home that guards the Shabbat. We want to make a home. We want to make ourselves a home to guard the Shabbat, to have a place to keep this light of Shabbat inside of our hearts, so that when we walk through the 6 days of creation, we're not confused, we're not startled, we're not shocked, we're not angry, we're not fighting, we're not in a place of machloket. Am Yisrael wants to become the dira, the resting place, the dwelling place of the Holy Shekhinah. Like it said in the Raya Mehemena and the Zohar Pinchas. V'chen amar Rashbi, so too Rashbi says in the Agdama of Tikkunei Zohar, שמתוך שמתארים ומכינים ישראל ליבם לקראת השבת, because we purify our hearts and we prepare our hearts towards the Shabbat, להיות דירה להשם יתברך, to be a dwelling place, a place of presence for Hashem, נכללים הם בשבת קודש ונתעלים מעל המזלות. They are included now in Shabbat Kodesh, and they're able to ascend above the horoscopes, above the celestials, above all of the stars that determine what's going to be down here. ונשפט להם הגנה ושמירה, and comes down on the people of Israel, protection, guarding, the kinyan, v'shamru b'nei Yisrael. And like b'nei Yisrael guarded themselves to make their hearts pure places for the light of Hashem to come down, so too, that light of Shabbat that comes down, the light of Hashem that's coming down into the heart, will guard b'nei Yisrael, will also guard the children of Israel. And this letter Vav is like the Sharvit HaMelech, it's like the scepter of the king. When the king puts out his staff, his scepter, and he gave it to Esther when she came to the house of Achashverosh. And it is specifically when she touched the head of the Sharvit, the head of this staff, that she was able to bring down all of these different levels of mercy from the heavens by way of the letter Vav. Meaning the staff of the king, it doesn't say that the king Achashverosh gave her his staff. It says the king gave her his staff. The king in the Megillah is always Hashem. Hashem extended out a staff. A staff is in the letter Vav. Vav, we said again, is Amshacha and Chibur. The ability to pull down new lights and to connect. So by way of this letter Vav, which is this Sharvit, which is this staff that's outstretched to Esther, meaning to the people of Israel, they will be able to bring down this mercy down here and to nullify all of the decrees and all of the different judgments that we have in the nation of Israel. Because when we want to cause some kind of decree to be removed, or we want to cause something in this world, we're trying to manifest something in this world, we have to connect between the heavens and the earth. And we have to draw down complete mercy from the heavens to this material world, to this world, and that happens by way of the letter Vav. And this letter Vav, that a person received in order by way of this letter Vav to connect to Hashem, the creator of all, and to receive by way of it this light that comes down, this light of the Ein Sof, this infinite light that comes down by way of the letters into his heart. That Vav is the heart. Because the heart is the place where the Ruach is resting. The Spirit of God that is resting inside your heart. She saw the Od Vav, which is the secret of the letter Vav. And by way of that, you make all of the connections and all of the relationships between heavens and earth. The Kol Aliyah v'Itkalalut mimata lemala, any ascension, any inclusion from down up, right? Any kind of connection that we can have as a human being from here towards the heavens comes from the heart. It comes from the letter Vav. It comes from pulling down new lights and connecting myself to that, because the heart is what brings the connection and the relationship between people, between creations, between people, the creatures, and their creator. And it's also what brings me the ability to bring down the light of God, that it should be revealed in this world and should dwell in this world, and that's the Shekhinah and the Beit HaMikdash. Because Lev, the Lamed, right? The Lamed of Lev, right? So far we've learned about Bet, Vav, and Shin. Here's the fourth letter we're getting into, Lamed. The Lamed of heart, of Lev. Shebnuya tzurata mishalosh otiyot Vav. The Lamed is made up of 3 Vavs. One vertical, horizontal, one vertical, one horizontal, and one vertical, right? והם 3 המשכות של גילוי שמו הגדול בעולם בשלושת בתי המקדש. This is a revelation of Hashem's great name in the world by way of his 3 temples. right? The lamed is made up of 3 vavs. The revelation of Hashem in this world is also revealed by way of 3 vavs. What are these 3 vavs? What is this lamed? What are these 3? The 3 temples. Because the letter vav, the first letter vav in the lamed is the arousal of the heart. The arousal of the heart of the rich person to give to the poor. And the middle vav is the middle path, the balanced path, which is the righteousness and the justice, the moznei tzedek, the balance of righteousness, to make the decision, how much should I be giving to the poor person? I want to give, but how much should I be giving? If he's a junkie, what's he going to do with my money? So obviously I don't give him $100. And the guy that's asking for Torah money to be able to support good things in the world, obviously I would give him more money. They're not on the same level, right? It's not the same level of tzedakah. So there's the idea of the arousal to want to give money. That's the top of the lamed. That's the first vav. The middle vav of the lamed, that's my shikul, that's my calculation of where's the mishpat, where's the tzedek, where's the righteous path here, where's the middle path where I'm giving, but I'm not burning myself out, I'm not losing my money, and I'm not disrespecting him maybe. Where's the right path of how much money I should be giving? That's the middle vav of the lamed. And the last vav of the lamed, hi hamshacha b'foal shel hashpa'a le'ani. This is the practically the giving this shefa over, giving this money over to the poor person. Shu habayit hashlishi. That's the 3rd temple. Wow. Shu tachlit habayit harishon v'hasheni ka'amur, which is the whole purpose of the 1st and the 2nd. Wow. Ashlamat ha'or lamed mivia lidei bniyat habayit. Completion of the lamed, right? We're talking about the lamed of lev again. The lamed of lev, which is also the last word in the Torah. So we're now connecting the beginning of the Torah with the bet of the beginning and the vav of the beginning of and the Shabbat to the end of the Torah, which is lev. The first lev, the first lamed of lev, that's again, like we just said, the 3 steps of tzedakah. That is all the completion of the last part of giving the actual money is the completion of the first 2 steps of the arousal in my heart and the decision of how much to give. When I finally give the money, it's completed. That leads me to the building of Habayit Hashlishi, the building of the 3rd temple, the 3rd house, but that Bayit is a bet again. And that's the Lamed Bet, Lev, the heart. That's the completion of everything else. And then you have a Lamed and the Bet together, the heart. And that's what Hashem says, V'natati lechem lev chadash. Hashem says, I will give you a new heart, v'ruach chadasha, and a brand new spirit. Iten bekirбechem, I will put in your midst. V'asiroti et lev ha'even mibsarchem, v'natati lechem lev basar. And I will remove the heart of rock, of stone, from you, from your flesh, and I will give you a heart of flesh, a permeable heart that is able to receive, that's able to give out, that's able to feel. We all walk around with this rock since we don't want to give, we don't want to receive, we don't want to. Everything's tough, everything's hard, everything's so intense. When we have a heart that's a little bit more flexible, a little bit more able to breathe, to receive, to give out, blood can flow through it, air can flow through it. That's the goal. Meaning we can hear messages from Hashem, we can grow, we can experience this life, and we don't take everything as if the rock is getting hit, as if a rock gets shattered into a million pieces. A rock, if it gets hit very, very hard, will shatter into a bunch of pieces. Something more fleshy, a heart, can get hit, and it's flexible, it can take the hit, and keep going, and keep moving, and keep working. כי התעוררות בתחילה ליתן לעני מצד התעוררות הרצון, the arousal in the beginning to want to give to the poor person because I have an arousal, because I desire to give. I feel like giving tzedakah. I got money, I feel like giving. Aratzon eno bal gvul. That desire that you have has no limitation. Vu ki inyan ashrat hashchina bebayit harishon. That's, so to say, like it was the energy of the Shekhinah resting in the first temple. There's no limitations. There was 10 miracles that were happening every single day, all the time. That didn't happen in the second temple. They just happened in the first temple. Super, super miraculous things. And it wasn't even such a crazy place. It was a very simple bayit. It wasn't so, it's not like what the third one's going to be. But there was Shechina there. There was Ashra'ah. There was the light of Hashem, so to say, without any limitations, without any holding back. The middle path, that it also has this idea of tzimtzum. How much am I going to give? Am I going to hold back? Am I going to limit myself? That was the second temple. Like the shefa, like the abundance, doesn't get revealed to the poor person until you actually give it to him. First temple was desire. Here's Shechina. Here it's present, but it's not yours. Hashem wants to be down here. There's a lot of light in the world, but it's not yours. It's Hashem wants to be down here. Then the second temple is Hashem determining, okay, what's the right measure? Before I give to you, how much am I going to give to you? How much can you actually tolerate? 400 Kohanim in 400 years? Why? So maybe we need to do a little bit of tzimtzumim. We need to take this down a little bit because you can't handle that much power. You can't handle that much light. כך התגלות מלכות וגדולת השם לעיני כל חי תהיה על ידי הלב והוו האחרונה שהוא הבית השלישי. So too, the revelation of the kingship of Hashem, of the greatness of Hashem, to every single human being in this whole entire world will only be by way of the heart, meaning the completion of I want to give, I'm going to determine how much to give, and I'm actually practically going to give, which will lead to a building of a temple. That last vav, the last vav within the lamed, that's only in the third temple. That's only in the third temple. Zat Hashem. Therefore, let's push. Therefore, when there's a lack in the heart of a Jew, and even more so if a person lost their heart completely, they feel lost, there won't be any connection to the letters. If you don't have a heart, you can't connect to letters. Because what are letters again, like we learned in the first time? Letters are the tools that allow for the godly light to come through the top of the letters. They fill up with light and they come out the bottom of the letter. Meaning that letter, right? Take a bottle. Imagine the bottle is open in the bottom, open on the top. Godliness comes down inside, fills up the whole entire bottle, right? Imagine this is an aleph or a vav. It looks like a vav, right? It's a vav. The light comes in and the light comes down from the bottom and it stays inside. These are the building blocks of the world. That vav has the ability to connect heaven and earth, but you need a heart to be able to do that. You need to have a heart, and if you don't have a heart, then you can't connect to the letters. The whole world, meaning your world, will be in hester. There's concealment. You can't connect. It seems like everything's dark. It seems like everything's not working out. And then the most purest will of Hashem that He wants to do good for you, you can't even see it. You can't feel it. You think that it's opposite. Hashem doesn't want to do good for you. He's making your life difficult. You don't even understand. The number one rule that we know about Hashem is that He's good and He does good. That can be revealed in the world if your heart is not there. Now we have troubles, judgments, poverty in the world. So too, it's in each individual. Because we don't have a temple, so we have all of these balagan, all these problems in the world. Because if there was a temple, it would be clear Hashem runs the world and He's bringing Shefa through Jerusalem. Now He says here for the whole entire world to bring them closer to Hashem. Not just the Jews. Since we don't have a temple, there's balagan in the world. Same thing with us as an individual. The more you have a lack of completion of your heart, you won't understand how holy each letter is and how precious the Torah is. Because your heart is lacking. A person like that is in a spiritual exile. They don't have a temple. They don't have a place of connection. They don't have dira b'tachtonim. They don't have the even most simple knowledge that God's doing good to you at all times. So to say, God can't. God doesn't have the ability, chas v'shalom, to fill up your heart, to give you what you need, to help you out, to give you the salvation that you need. ולכן כפי ההפסד ועבידת ליבו, כן יצטער כן גם בעול הפרנסה. The more you, according to how much you've lost your heart, so too, you'll take it much harder of making money and working and doing everything that you need to do. אבל כשתהיה שלמות במדרגת הלב של ישראל, when there is a completion in the level of the heart of Israel, as a nation and as an individual, תהיה התקשרות באותיות, then you do have a connection to the letters. ותמשך בעולם מלכותו של הבורא ברוך הוא בגילוי. There will be a drawing down by way of the letter Vav of the kingship of Hashem into the world revealed. ויתקיים תכלית רצונו יתברך בבריאת העולם. The purpose of why Hashem created the world will exist and will be revealed in this world. שתהיה לו דירה בתחתונים, then he should have a dwelling place here in this low world. ויטיב לנבראיו, in order to do good for all of his creations. שמבית המקדש בבניינו נשפעים חיים וסובה לעולם כולו. From the Beit HaMikdash, when it is completed, when it is built, there's shefa, there's abundance of life and satiation, meaning abundance for the whole entire world, the Jews and the non-Jews. Things are good when there's Beit HaMikdash because there's a clear revelation, everything is good. What I have is exactly what I need. chen hu gam bechol adam b'pratiyut, so too in every individual. כאשר יכין כל אחד מישראל את ליבו ויבוא לשלמות הלב, when everybody prepares their heart and they'll come to a completion of their heart, יאירו בו האותיות ויהיה יכול להרגיש את קדושת ועניין אותיות ממש. Your heart is pure, now the light of Hashem that's through the letters will start to shine to you and you'll be able to feel the sanctity and the holiness of those letters. Mamash, you'll be able to feel it. You'll look at the book and it'll be shining for you. ומתוך כך תשרה בליבו הקדושה והאהבה להשם יתברך בגילוי. From that connection, from having the Torah illuminated for you, the tefillah shining to you, now your heart will have this presence of sanctity, of holiness, of love of Hashem revealed in it. You'll feel it. You'll be able to sense it in your heart. ויוציא הקדוש ברוך הוא את רצונו להטיב לו. Then Hashem's final, ultimate goal and first goal, to be able to do good for you, will be allowed to happen. The only reason we can't feel the good is because our heart is a heart of a stone. It's blocked off. It can't receive, it can't feel. When we prepare it and we remove the bad things and we start to clean it up, and now we're able to make a place for that Spirit of God to dwell in there. Like Reb Nachman says, Ruach Elohim merecheft al pnei hamayim, right? That the Spirit of God is floating on top of the water. The water is the Torah. We need the Spirit of God. We should be able to open Sifrei Torah and even alone Shabbat like this and be like, wow, Hashem, you're with me, everything's good. The only reason you won't ever feel that, or you don't feel that, is because your heart is messed up. Your heart is filled with, no one's blaming you, but you have an obligation to clean it. It's your heart, it's your house. And that's meant to be Hashem's apartment inside of your this is an apartment building, right? Many different things can have space in there. Your heart is for Hashem. That's Hashem's place. If it's a mess, Hashem doesn't have a place to sleep in your building. That's horrible. We want Hashem to have a house, to feel welcome, to come whenever He wants, to fill it up, to make it feel right, to pump it up with good new fresh blood. Ruach nachon chadesh b'kirbi. We want all of that. We have to do the work to clean our hearts. וממילא לא יצטרך להתייגע בעבור הפרנסה כלל. When you have all of that, then you won't have to work so hard to make your money. Even if you work hard, it won't feel like, like such a... You can show up and work very hard, but it feels good. It doesn't feel like you're doing yagia. It doesn't feel like you're breaking your back to make a few shekels. Because you know HaKadosh Baruch Hu's with me. It's all good. He's good and He's doing good. כי צריך לידע שהאותיות מאירות על האדם. You need to know that the light that's inside the letters, it shines on you. ועל מצחו חקוק וכתוב כל מה שעשה כל לחייו. On your forehead is engraved and written in Hebrew letters everything you've ever done in your life. Like the Rabbeinu Arizal, he would see on the forehead of a person all of his actions. Therefore, when a person goes לבית החיים, טוב שיכסה את המצח. When a person goes to the cemetery, it's good that they should cover their forehead. If you wear a hat, put your hat down, right? And if you don't wear a hat, you should wear a hat. Because you're meant to cover your forehead, and if you don't wear a hat, how are you going to do that? You can't walk around like that all day, it doesn't make sense. So, new anaga. When you go to a Beit HaChaim, make sure you have a hat with you or something that you can cover your forehead. Why? Because on your forehead, everything is revealed. And you're in a place filled with people that can read your forehead. Everyone there can read your forehead. Every single one of those kvarim have the ability to see you up and down. If the negative forces inside the Beit HaChaim, inside that cemetery, see that you have the letter Taf on your forehead, siman hu sheyesh alav dinim. It's a sign that there's judgments on the person. And God forbid, it could even be that there's this decree on this person to pass from this world. Even though a person could have that taf on their forehead for a long time. They're marked. The decree is there. They could live for many, many years. If a destructive angel sees that letter taf on the person's forehead, it's the last letter, it's an emphasized letter, taf, it's a sign, it's a seal. If these destruction of angels see this letter taf, it's a sign, your job here in this world is done. They've made the decree, you can be taken out of this world. You're done here. A taf on the forehead means tikkun. You've rectified as much as you can, your time here is numbered. So now what happens? A person can walk around no problem, but when you go to a cemetery is a place of tumah, it's a place of a lot of negative energies and forces and angels. If they see that taf, they can make decrees on you. Because you're signed already from heaven that you're meant to be leaving the world. So the angel is just doing its job. But who says you have to go hang around in cemeteries? Hang around in the Beit Midrash. First things first, most people there can't read your forehead. So they can't make decrees on you. Two, it's a place of purity. You don't have to be in a Beit HaChaim if there's a tzaddik there, but to hang out there all the time, in the end of the day, there's still dead bodies there. It's still a place of tumah. It's still a place of mizikim. It's still a place of a spiritual potential for negative things. And if you're walking around with a target on your forehead, they're going to shoot. It's not oh my God, what did I do wrong? What? No. This is the reality of the world. This is spiritual reality. Therefore, you have to take this taf that could be on a person's forehead and switch it to a yud. The letter yud, higolmit. The letter yud is like raw material. Raw material, right? Any letter starts with the ot yud. Yud is just a dot on a page. If you literally just make one dot on the page, that's technically the ot yud. So it's what everything starts from. It's material. And from that material, you can form all of the letters. V'gamhi ot ktana. It's also a small letter that nearly has no ink in it. V'kimat nikiya. It's nearly completely clean. Ki haniyar adayin chalak me'aktivat sha'ar otiyot. Because the page, the klaf, the scroll is still clean from the writing of the rest of the letters. V'nirmaz b'zeh shetzrich adam azeh la'speak la'asot arbe od b'chayav. If a taf, what does a taf mean? We're at the end of the alphabet. You're signed. Signed, sealed, delivered, you can take a person out the world. We want to switch that taf to a yud. What is the yud on our forehead? That means we're at the beginning. We haven't even drawn a letter yet. The rest of the page is still empty. There's so much more to write. I haven't even formed one letter yet. I'm still dealing with material. I haven't even formed. There's so much more to do in my life. You can't touch me. The mizikim can't affect you. Because they see a yud, they see, there's potential here. There's so much more to do yet. The yud could be anything. A yud could make anything. V'yesh lo lashlim yamav. And he has to complete his days. This is all because the idea of letters are engraved on every single person. By way of the forehead, by way of the letter, everything is revealed about that person in all facets of this world and his life into the world, making it's all made clear. Last paragraph for today.
Finish by taking you in the world. It's good.
Not
finish it.
Yes, unless sometimes it could be that like tikun en malitaken kinot. It's the same letters, meaning you're doing so much bad, we need you out of the world. You get me? Like, you finish your tikkun, like, meaning your job here is done. We wanted you to do better, but because you're messing up so much, from Shemayim we think it would be better we take you out and let's start again. But right now, tam v'nishlam. Your taf on the forehead means the person's done here. What does that mean? Practically, you could live for the rest of your life like that. But you're technically a walking dead man, right? Not you. Khalila, a person could be a walking dead man. If that person walks into a place of spiritual danger, now all of a sudden he's susceptible. It's like Khomeini, Imach Shimon in the past, Lavdil. The past 2 weeks, if he would have walked around in the street, you're begging for problems. You're a dead man walking, you need to act differently. Same thing here, Lahavdil from Imach Shimon and Torah Rasha. Sometimes there's decrees on us. We have to be careful at those moments where we go, what we do, how we act, getting mean to anger. Right? The person gets angry, it says, all these different types of hell rule over him. Well, what happens when that happens? Because getting angry was one thing. Okay, that brings Gehenom in a person. What does that look like? Chas v'chalila, to figure it out, right? You cover your forehead and then the Mizikim won't be able to see. Exactly. No. Those who said that also said this. Elu velu, right? They can see the taf, and if you put a block there, they can't see the taf. Tov. Let's wrap this up. ואופן ההתקשרות הלב באותיות הוא על ידי שמכוון האדם ליבו לעשות לשמו ולכבודו של הקדוש ברוך הוא. Great. We know now to connect to Hashem is by way of the letters. How do I connect to letters though? How do I connect to a letter when I come to pray, when I come to learn Torah? It's by way of intending your heart and your actions right now. I'm coming to learn Torah. I'm coming to pray for the sake of Hashem, for the honor of Hashem. And by way of that, straight away you pull down the light of Hashem and revelation of the honor of Hashem in the world. Ki Shem Hashem Baruch Hu tziruf otiyot hamurim al shmo hagadol v'hanora. Hashem's name is a permutation of letters that show the greatness and the power of Hashem's might, Hashem's name in this world. By way of the letters of His name, we pull down the light and reveal the honor of Hashem, blessed be He, in this world. This is the essence of what it means a temple in Jerusalem, a Beit HaMikdash. You shall make for me a sanctified place, and I will dwell amongst them. Rashi says, Vasuli, what does it mean, you shall make me a Mikdash? Lishmi, for my name, for my honor. Shem, again, a name is always a revelation. It's always a revelation of the honor of Hashem. Hashem at the core, we never talk about that. We only ever talk about Shmi. Shmi, what's the Shem of the name? Shem means a revelation. Right? Some people call me Abba, some people call me husband, some people call me brother, some people call me Eliyahu. I have many different names. It's depending on what revelation am I giving over to that person. What is the level of revelation in relationship to that person? And Hashem has His name. His name is, so to say, the revelation of the presence of Hashem here in the world. We're not talking about the core of what it is. When a person donates for the sake of heaven, he wants to give, because that's what the right thing to do is. Hashem said we should have a society where we're giving and we're doing good for other people. You cause to bring down the letters of Hashem's name into this world. You see a Jew and you just want to give him a coin because that's the right thing to do, because Hashem said I want a world of tzedakah. You just brought the letters of Hashem's name to be revealed in the world. When you do it for the sake of Hashem, because Hashem told you to do that, immediately Hashem shows up in your heart. Make for me a mikdash, asuli, do it for me, and I will dwell inside you. It's a promise we have from Hashem. Do something for me, for the sake of Hashem, not because you're going to get something out of it, not because your name's going to be on the building. Do it for me. I promise you I'll dwell inside your heart. This brings a revelation of the presence of the Shekhinah, the presence of Hashem in this world, and that's the whole entire tachlit, the purpose, the end all be all of the actions of the heart. אלא שאין יכול האדם לעשות לכבוד הקדוש ברוך הוא ולשם שמיים אלא אם כן ליבו שלם. You could never ever do something for the sake of heaven purely if your heart isn't complete. ושלמות הלב, the completion of the heart, הוא כפי שיעור הרחמנות שבלב האדם. It goes according to how much mercy do you have in your heart. How do you gauge how complete your heart is? How much mercy do you have in your heart? If you have a true heart, to know שאין רחמנות אלא על כבוד שמיים והשכינה קדושה. Mercy is Hashem, is the Shekhinah, is the light of Hashem. כי צריך כל אחד, כל אדם שיכין ויעורר את ליבו להשתתף בצער השכינה. Every single person has to arouse himself to take part in the pain of the Shekhinah, meaning the lack of God clarity in this world. The fact that it's not shown up in the hearts and the minds and the actions of every single person in this world, that Hashem is behind everything. That it's not clear to us. That should cause us pain. We should yearn and want to have a true revelation of Hashem in this world, to build the Beit HaMikdash HaShlishi, to have the third part of the Lamed, to have the giving, to have it be present, to have God's light be here in this world. Va'az nikra libo bina liba. And then your heart will be called bina liba, a heart of understanding. Ki mivin hu mawa chisron amiti. You understand what's the true lack in the world. What's really lacking in the world? God clarity. Not money. Not the right switch on the wall, the right light switch. God is lacking in the world. The only thing that's really lacking is our minds, that we don't know that Hashem's really there. And then we'll know what we really need mercy for. What's true mercy? The mercy that we all need to reveal Hashem, and it should be known to everybody, that everybody should have that. There should be mercy on people, that they should be able to connect, they should be able to feel Hashem. That's the true lack in this world. So we're seeing there's a beautiful process here of developing what is each letter teaching us, and this process of giving and bringing completion and bringing down and removing all of the decrees and all the judgments and bringing a place, an era of peace, a place for Hashem to dwell in. That's our goal. That's our goal. And everything we're doing. So it's been a nice, beautiful reminder from the Yanuka by way of the holy letters, the holy building blocks, B'ezrat Hashem.